Hello fellow cinephiles, Film Guru here. For those new to the channel, my name is Sean, also known as Film Guru, and I started this channel to have my say in particular movies, TV show and a variety of other film content, so thanks for joining me today if you're new. Today I'll be reviewing new Bond film, No Time to Die. And the film was directed by Kerry J.J. Fungara and stars Daniel Craig, Rami Malek, Leah Seydoux and Anna Damaris. And it looks at how Bond has left the service and him and Madeline, and they're living a simple, normal life. But all that changes when their past come back to haunt them. James is brought back into the world, a world he'd long forgotten and never wanted to return to, by his old CIA friend Felix, who asked him to go on a mission to rescue a kidnapped scientist. Turns out to be far more treacherous than expected, leading Bond on the trail of a mysterious villain who's armed with a dangerous new technology. This film, worth the wait. I was really impressed by this. This is by far one of the best Bonds that we've had. It's a great conclusion to the Daniel Craig saga and in the completion of his movies. And is one of the most entertaining movies I've seen this year. I was really blown away by this movie. It's really the first time in the sort of Bond franchise where they've got one particular actor playing Bond and all of his movies connect and tell one whole arc of a character and a story. And this is a conclusion of that. I really like that. I like that they spent the time sort of trying to reinvent Bond a little bit with Casino Royale, and then each subsequent sequel connected into that story in some way. And this sort of encompasses everything and brings everything to an end. I think that was a really smart way to go, and I was really impressed by the decision to do that with this particular saga of Daniel Craig's. This film is highly entertaining. There's some really great action sequences in it, especially at the start where he's trying to outrun all these guys and he's in the car and with the guns in his particular Aston Martin, which we see in the trailer. And I really loved that sequence. It's really well done. Visually is very striking, it's beautifully shot. I like the way that Kerry sort of tells his story as a director and coming on after everything that happened with Danny Boyle leaving and a variety of other things, and to craft something like this is a really testament to him, not only as a writer but also as someone who's trying to step into the directing chair and do his own thing, and I think he's done a really great job. I really thought all the acting was great. Daniel Craig was fantastic. It really felt like, even though it was the end to his particular Bond, sort of gives his all in a lot of ways. He's able to show his dramatic side and the dramatic moments in the film. There's a lot more heart here. There's a lot more about him and who he's as a person and the things he desires and wants, and the kind of person he wants to be and the life he really wants to live outside the service. And I think this is I think he does a really great job here. His Bond is fantastic and he has some really great moments in the film. And it shows the love they have for Bond and the love that Daniel Craig does have for this character, even though he sort of wants to move on to other things. But all the acting across the board was fantastic. Lashana, I thought she was really great. Like, she's taken on the code name of 007. I think it was really great. She's kick-ass and very strong and sturdy. And she has some really solid moments with Daniel Craig in the movie and really starts to shine in this film and shows what she's capable of. And I was really impressed by her. Jeffrey Wright's good as usual playing Felix. He's an actor I've really liked for a long time, and I think this is a really great conclusion to that character, and I think they do a great job with that. Leah Seydoux is really great. I really feel the bond between her Madeline character and Bond and the connection between them and how strong that is. And we see it much more than we did in the previous film, which they sort of ended up together, but this film was like, it really felt like there was a relationship there. They spent time building that, and this film does take place a bit after the end of Spectre, and so there's that time for them to connect in that way, and we really feel that on screen. I think it's really great. I think they work off each other really well. I love that her character's not really a damsel in distress. She can kick ass, she can fire guns, she's very capable. I love that about her. And she has some really great dramatic moments too, and I'm really impressed by her performance here and the evolution of her particular character. I think Rami Malek does a really great job. His character is a little annoying at times because of the way he speaks, and he's very calm and collected, and he chooses his words and he speaks very slowly. But I think he is a solid villain. I think Rami Malek is able to bring something unique to that character, an oddness and a uniqueness that sort of suit that character that only Rami Malek can do, and I think that was really great. The biological weapon in it, the concept in it, and it's very relevant to what's going on in the world today with COVID and all that sort of stuff, and it feels like, even though this was made and completed before all of this outbreak happened, it sort of feels like it's connected to that in a way, and it feels very relevant. And I think that's a really interesting choice of what they did. And it really shows the power of Rami Malek's character, who's able to do things that Spectre have never been able to do. And I thought that was really, really great. Anna de Armas nearly steals the movie, in my opinion. She only has a couple of scenes in the film, but she's so great. She plays Paloma, this sort of CIA operative who's new to the business, and she's very cute and cool and fun, and she kicks ass in these scenes, and she has great chemistry with Daniel Craig. There's this sort of really great bond that you see, even though for the briefest moment of these two sharing the screen together. It's really powerful, and she's so funny and entertaining. She just shows how capable she is and how she's able to do everything that Bond can do, but in a different way, and I love that. And I think her scenes are just show stealing. She's just so great in it. And I really hope they bring her character back for the next lot of Bonds, because I think she's a great character and I'd love to see much more of her. And I think she really nearly outshines Bond in many ways, and I was really impressed by her performance. If you're a fan of the Bond films, you'll really love this, I think. It's a really great end to the Daniel Craig saga. It's action-packed. It has some great set pieces, and I like the locations that they go to. It has really great performances, including Ben Whishaw, who plays Q, and what we see about him and who he is as a person, and his involvement in the whole thing is really great. There's a feeling of finality to this film, especially for the Daniel Craig saga, and I think that's really great. I think they captured that really well. I think they took this film in an interesting direction. They made some choices that were a bit different, and they tried to breathe new life into this and make it much more entertaining and different to a lot of the other Bonds. Even though this film is over 2.5 hours, it doesn't feel like that. You don't feel the run time, because you're just engaged and you're immersed in it from the beginning to end, and you can't look away, and it just sucks you in, and it's just one hell of a ride. In saying all this, there are a couple of things that I don't know how I felt about or I didn't like, and they're just little nitpick things. Some of the hand-to-hand combat, the fight sequences in the film were shaky cam, and you couldn't really see what was going on, and I thought we could have, living in this day and age with all these action movies that show everything going on, I think they could have shot these sequences a little better. But in saying that, there's a really great stairwell sequence, gunfight towards the end of the movie that's really fantastic to watch, and is done in a way to make it look like one continuous shot. Speaking of that, the use of camera in this film, the way it flows and moves, and they really use the camera to tell the story, and I think this is really impressive. The other thing for me is I don't know how I felt about the ending. I'm not going to give anything away. You have to go and see it to know what happened. It's something you really have to experience on your own without being told. It gets much more out of it. And I just don't know if I like the choice that they made at the end of the movie. But maybe it suits the story they're telling, I'm not sure. I just felt conflicted by it. Just by the direction that they took it, and I felt they could have done something a little different, but I guess for the story it suits it, I guess, in a way. Final thoughts. In the end, it's really about people's past coming back to haunt them. And the past has consequences, and there's choices that they have to make in order to move forward in their life. I'm going to give No Time to Die 4 out of 5. I was really impressed by it. I think it's a really great Bond film and a great action movie. And I think the director's done a great job. Wonderful way for Daniel Craig as Bond to go out. Anyway, that's all from me today. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please subscribe down the bottom. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Otherwise, until next time, enjoy the movies.